Welcome to this episode of the Disability Collective podcast. I'm Christine Malec, and I'm here with my amazing, talented, and gloriously handsome friend JJ Hunt. And the 4th annual Disability Collective Holiday Festival is fast approaching on Sunday, December 7th at Wychwood Barns from 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It's going to be an amazing day with an indoor market featuring 30 local disabled artists, vendors. There's going to be live music, community events like games, which I can personally attest are very fun. I played them last year at the summer festival. Very tactile. A photo booth and card making. Plus good food and drink, of course, including, wait for it, s'mores at an outdoor fire.
Yes.
Wow, they're really ramping up this year. I'm so excited. Today, to prepare and get our elves in a row, see what we did there, we're going to take a virtual tour of the market stalls. JJ's going to guide us through the list of vendors and describe the amazing things they'll be selling on the 7th.
Yes, so this is the episode, Chris, where we get to go through every single vendor that's going to be at the market in the festival, and talk about what they've got for sale, describe some of the things. So what we do is we put the word out. We ask all the vendors to send us descriptions of what they've got and to share some photos. I collect all of that information with the help of the team at the Disability Collective. They're so great at gathering all this information for us, and then we can sit back and we can have a little bit of a virtual shopping experience and kind of go through table by table, vendor by vendor, and break it all down so that folks are ready and prepared to do their shopping.
And I just want to also clap the Disability Collective on the back for this, because as a blind person and a intermediate shopper, you never know everything, and you might go with a sighted person, and with the best will in the world, they're never going to tell you everything. And there's often this sort of it's one of those things about online shopping where I can look at every single thing if I want, and I might or I might not. But the Disability Collective, by offering this podcast, gives us all the opportunity to know everything.
And while we're patting people on the back, I have to say the notes that the vendors sent, the photos that they sent, this is the 3rd or 4th time we've done a virtual tour like this, and every time the vendors get a little bit better and a little bit better. Their descriptions are richer, the photos they're sending are detailed. They get it. They are really doing an amazing job at participating in this in this part of the festival tradition. So kudos and a big thanks to the vendors. Let's tuck in. All right, so we're going to start with Orange. Orange is a vendor that makes fused glass plates, dishes, and ornaments. These are really cool. So fused glass, it all gets melted together. I don't know exactly the process, but you end up with these different colored pieces of glass all together to make different patterns and different pictures. So, based on some of the photos that they've sent me, they've got round ornaments with little images on them, like there's a snowman, there's a reindeer, there's some cuddling penguins, all on these round discs of fused glass. It also looks like they've got some holiday cards that they'll be selling at the market this year, and including some and also some glass ornaments. So it looks like some hanging ornaments, like teardrop shaped ornaments that you can put a hook on and put on your tree if you'd like. That's from Orange. And then we've got Fruity Frog Creations. Fruity Frog Creations does bright and colorful crochet stuffed toys with cute black plastic eyes and faces. They love things like pride, food, animals, and video games as their themes. One of my favorite little stuffed creations that they've got is this little jellyfish. So it's a round head with a little squiggly kind of frill around the body, and then these strings of yarn, these kind of braided strings of yarn coming down for the little tentacles coming out the bottom. Super cute. And then of course with the 2 black eyes and the little tiny curved smile. Super cute. That's from Fruity Frog Creations. Ooh Snazzy, which is a name we've heard before. Always a fun time saying ooh snazzy.
Ooh. Ooh, snazzy.
They do handmade stainless steel jewelry and accessories for the vibrant hearted. Love that phrasing. So earrings, bracelets, necklaces. They make bag charms, glass chains for your glasses, all designed and fueled by cultural influences. So they've got these little earrings with dangly tulips and little eggs. I think they're either glass or resin. Super cute little fried egg earrings. I like those. Little tiny fish on like a bag clip or something. So it's got a little clip on the end of it. So a collection of fish on chains, and then it's got a clip so you can put that on your zipper or something like that. A little tiny strawberry. And one of the things that Ooh Snazzy does is they make sure that all their materials are appropriate for folks with sensitive skin. So that's something that they're taking into account at Ooh Snazzy. Mango Lily does wearable art made from clay, made by proud Black artists. Bold colors, bold textures. So a lot of this jewelry is like geometric shapes, rounded triangles, ovals, circles, and they are somewhat flat, but all of the surfaces are heavily textured. So you've got different patterns. So some of them have kind of like a reptile skin kind of pattern. Some have patterns that are more like palm fronds and leaves and so on and so forth in really bold colors. Oranges, blues, greens, whites, and blacks. Because they're tactile, I visited them last year and had a chance to explore really cool tactile jewelry. If you're someone who likes to fidget, I can imagine wearing some of these earrings and really enjoying kind of rubbing a thumb over them. They're beautiful pieces from Mango Lily.
Well, and it's a kind of a blindy thing too, and it's not necessarily that we're more prone to fidgeting, but anything that's tactile is always going to be sort of interesting. And when I'm at the holiday market, that's kind of where my interest goes. Is like, what can I run my fingers over that's tactile interesting?
Absolutely. Rad Habits does colorful and whimsical handmade art and accessories, things like stickers, prints, magnets, and greeting cards. They've got earrings made from 2-inch toy dinosaurs and animals. They also do beaded friendship bracelets with funny phrases, as well as queer and disabled identity representation. So they sent me some images of some of their bracelets. One says, "My back hurts." One says, "My bones hurt." My head hurts. My tummy hurts. I want to go home. I like that one. There's something about the really the really cute, very colorful circles, each with a different letter on it, in these like Swiftie style, friendship bracelets that says, "I want to go home." I just really like that. That's really cute.
So honest.
I know, it's great. They also do, like I said, stickers and prints and magnets. A few of the images that they sent me of their stickers. One is a picture of a fluffy cat surrounded by, like a black cat surrounded by red hearts, and it says, "Biting is my love language." And another little sticker says, "I may have anxiety, but I also have a great ass," which I really like. Is that good?
Love it.
Treasure Box Jewelry does handmade beaded earrings, necklaces, bracelets, brooches, and eyeglass cords inspired by designs and patterns found in nature. Really cool, very intricate beadwork. Some of the beadwork images that they sent me look very old-fashioned, like big, wide beaded bracelets with a circle and pin fasteners on them. Very old-fashioned, kind of brassy and very elegant, like off-white colors for their beads. Those are really lovely. But then also some very vibrant reds, like look like ruby kinds of ruby reds in both the beadwork and in some of the other stones. Again, some very classic stuff, but some really bold colors from Treasure Box Jewelry. So Stitched by Ali does handmade knit and crochet items. They do knit scarves, knit gloves. Some of the gloves they sent me pictures of, really nice old-fashioned looking gloves, like a nice big thumb in colors that are like yellow and brown stripes and like a forest greens and like lovely kind of tweedy colors. Really nice stuff like that. They also do little soft sculpture. So little soft sculpture frogs, knit frogs. I've picked up a few of those in the past. And these house plants. So little crocheted like pots with crocheted plants growing out of them. Super cute, really nice. Great for those who wish they had a green thumb, but do not. Tig Owl Creations does small crafts, artwork decorations, and printed fabric clothing. Their stuff is very colorful, made from various materials such as wood, paint, fabric, all handmade. The vendor uses ASL, American Sign Language, as their primary language. And ASL interpretation, of course, good opportunity to remind everyone that ASL interpretation is fully supported by the collective with interpreters on hand and available at all times. So Tig Owl Creations, really colorful stuff in all kinds of different crafts in wood, paint, fabric, all creatively handmade.
I'd like to throw in a word about that because as a blind person, it's very rare to have the opportunity to communicate with a deaf person. And so if you're blind and you're going to be at the market, don't be shy. And just kind of keep in mind that the voice you hear is the interpreter and the person you're speaking to is the deaf person. And so you may just want to call it out and go, okay, so this is kind of confusing for me. Where is the person I'm speaking to? Because if you're blind, you don't know where the actual person is. And the good manners is to be sort of focusing on the person you're speaking to, but listening to the interpreter. And so I just want to throw that out there, that if you're blind and you're at the market, maybe go to your way just to introduce yourself to one of the blind, the deaf or hard of hearing vendors, because it's a cross disability, cross-cultural opportunity that honestly, where else does this happen? Probably nowhere.
That's right, unless it's a collective event. That's right.
Right? It's not. And so I've had some lovely conversations and just really frank, like, how can we communicate? How can we have a conversation? What's the right way to do it? And then we talk about the products or whatever, but don't be shy about that. So just throwing that out there as a fun opportunity that you won't find possibly anywhere else other than this market.
Absolutely. Baby Globe, another vendor that does handmade stained glass sun catchers, artwork, and glass jewelry. So some of their jewelry really elegant, looks like largely silver outlines, and then with like bits of stained glass inside. So you've got like a squiggly bar, or an oval, or a circle. So again, outlined in some kind of, it looks like a silver material or possibly a pewter material, and then inside these stretches of stained glass in yellows and blues and reds and greens, really lovely there. And then also larger stained glass that you might be able to hang in a window. So, larger shapes, flower shapes, heart shapes, and so on. They also do other kinds of accessories and colorful keychains and different charms. That's from Baby Globe. Neon Birchworks is an indigenous-owned jewelry and accessory brand. They do Anishinaabe beadwork, but in original designs by the vendor. Some very cool beadwork patterns here. There's one that looks like overlapping, like it looks like woven green fronds, but all done in beadwork. Really very cool. And then those are in earrings, so they look almost like long bookmarks, but that hang down on dangly earrings. Another set of earrings that has a rows of beaded roses, and another one where the earrings read love in white beads on a red beaded background. That's again from Neon Birchworks. Threaded Thrifts does hand-stitched, cross-stitched pieces in upcycled frames with themes like magic, witchy, mythical, D&D, nature, and pride. They also do upcycled clothing with hand-stitching and embroidered designs in different parts of the garment. So they sent a photo of a pair of jeans, black jeans, where on the back pockets are two different cross-stitched phrases. On one back pocket it says game over, and then on the other back pocket it says play again, yes or no. So that's kind of the way they take some of their upcycled clothing and add some cross stitching to them. And then these really lovely vintagey style frames with cross stitched images on the inside, again in the magic, witchy kind of D&D themes. Very cool stuff from Threaded Thrifts. So One Hand Wonders does hand-knit hats and scarves made from hand-dyed wool or acrylic yarn. So one of the scarves they sent me an image of is really, it looks like a really thick, heavy, a deep blue scarf. That looks really nice. They also do stone, tile, and terracotta coasters with images of colorful flowers on them. So some very elegant looks like Christmas ornaments. So these ones look like an off-white clay, like a beige-colored clay with these really intricate blue line drawings of flowers and plant material. Those are really cool. They also do stonework. So there's also a stone. It looks like a stone coaster in it looks almost like a marbly kind of stone, and then on it is this really delicate, very thin line drawing of wheat sheaths. Really, really lovely stuff from One Hand Wonders. And then there's Catharsis and Cathexis. They do handmade ceramic calabash bowls glazed in assorted colors. So calabash are gourds sourced from the Caribbean. And so I think what they do is they take these gourds and make pottery out of the shapes of the gourds. So each piece that they've sent me a photo of looks to be unique in its exact dimensions, its exact shape, and they all have a slight the imperfect quality of something found in nature. Really lovely, like just a slightly wobbly kind of bowl with natural edges, natural lines in them, and more natural shapes. Really lovely, very tactile. In fact, they make a note in there to me to say that folks are welcome to come and pick up the pieces and feel them, because the shapes are really they are unique. Each piece is unique. The colors that they've used in their glazing, blues and greens with different speckled patterns and line patterns, again, I think all coming from these gourds, the calabash gourds. Really cool stuff from these folks. I'm looking forward to checking them out.
I love that idea that there's imperfection in the pieces, and as you're describing all of these things, I'm thinking so much about how there's mass produced, and but everything you're describing, I'm just thinking of so much labor that goes into creating a handmade thing, and how that gives it a precious quality, and also a commensurate value the time of the artist. But I really like that idea of they don't all look the same. They just look the way they look. Each thing is unique. So that's a great thing about craft markets, is that you get that individuality.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to checking these guys out. I believe these guys are new vendors to the market. In fact, I think I'm correct in saying every vendor that we're going to talk about from here on in is either new to the market or was not there for the summer festival. So I believe that all the other folks that we're going to be going with, I might be incorrect on a couple of them, but yeah, lots and lots of new vendors, folks we didn't see in the summer at the market this year, so that's exciting. Grey Jade Herbals, they do handcrafted tea blends. Some of the teas are actually themed with fandom, and others are what they call LGBTs. They also do essential oils with roll-on perfumes, again with queer themes, gender-neutral recipes. They sell in amber glass bottles that are about the size of lip balms. So it sent me a couple of these photos of these little bottles being held in hand, and yeah, they're the little amber bottles that would fit in the palm of your hand, and they have little roll-on applicators on the tips. Really lovely stuff. Grey Jade Herbals. Sick Stories, that's S-I-C-K, Sick Stories, does poetry, nonfiction, fiction, and children's books where all of the authors are disabled, chronically ill, mentally ill, or neurodivergent. So they do zines and postcards, coloring books. They do decks of cards and little witchy charms in the form of pill capsules that are filled with glitter. They sent me an image of their table, which is, again, filled with books and pieces of literature, and on the end of the table is a fishbowl full of surprise poems in little small brown envelopes. So that's pretty cool. Sick Stories also does audiobooks and playlists on Libro FM. So if that's the way you take in your poetry, check them out. Sick Stories. Cat's Canine Creations does handmade dog supplies like bandanas and treat pouches, collars, leashes, decals, and stickers. So some of the images that they sent are for like little tags that you might like. They look embroidered. So a tag that you might either put on a leash, or that would maybe hang off of a dog's collar. And so they say things like Angel on 4 paws, or Toronto dog, or Caution, my dog kisses, little things like that, as well as handmade leashes. So really nice, sturdy looking leashes in beautiful colors of pink and teal blue and kind of like this brassy gold color. Really nice stuff from Cat's Canine Creations. Maoki Canada does traditional Chinese handicrafts made by disabled artists, so folks who are deaf, folks who are mute, and children with cerebral palsy. So they have original art pieces of gongbi painting, meaning gongbi meaning meticulous brush painting. So this is a classical Chinese painting technique that demands extreme precision and concentration, so really highly detailed images. And so they kind of have their own twist on these. So some of these images are of nature and figures and animals. So they have some of cats and some of dogs. Super cute. And then with some pop culture influences in there as well. So like one of the images they sent me is a really super cute cat with big wide eyes. But the cat is wearing like a traditional Chinese dragon hat with a second set of even larger dragon eyes, reds and golds and furry white. Super cute. They also do handcrafts such as embroidered silk balls and earrings and pendants, a wide variety of stuff from Maoki Canada. Seymour's Print Shop does cards, prints, stickers, bookmarks, and calendars. These are digitally illustrated with really vibrant colors, playful, quirky, minimalist charm. So they've got a series of cat images. Actually, I think I have seen these guys before. They might have been at a market a couple of markets ago. I remember these kind of holiday cards featuring cats. So there's a little orange cat with a red mittens on the paw and like a red Santa hat. Another black and white cat with antlers, like reindeer antlers. And then there's a cat that's all curled up and twisted up in Christmas lights, as well as a wiener dog wearing a blue and white holiday sweater. Really, really cute stuff from Seymour's Print Shop. Knots and Clay does handmade crocheted hats, but they also do pottery and cross-stitching and earrings, so all kinds of different handmade stuff at Knots and Clay. So for the hats, you'll find elf hats, pumpkin hats, acorn hats. So these are all hats that look like you got an acorn on your head or look like you got a pumpkin on your head with a little stem and some leaves. Also black hats, like black crocheted hats with white crossbones on them. Very cool. The crossbones motif can also be found in some of their crocheted ornaments that you can hang on your tree. They also do ceramic snowflake ornaments. Lots of stuff at the Knots and Clay table. All right, Bug and Sloth does crocheted stuffies, including little fish, hippos, and love bugs. Then they make these mixed media fidget toys and figurines, including hedgehogs, jellyfish, chickens, turtles, frogs. So these are like, they look like they're like little, like, fit in the palm of your hand, like a little stuffed chicken or a little stuffed hedgehog, where some of it is crocheted and then they crocheted beads or little plastic rings in there. So you've got different kind of textures involved. Really, and again, super cute. Little like big black eyes, little tiny noses, really, really cute stuff. They also do stickers, prints, and greeting cards focusing on nature, disability, and LGBTQ plus themes. They also are going to have an order station set up for folks who want specific commissioned work done as a holiday gift. Great idea from the folks at Bug and Sloth. At Hear Glam, you can find handmade stylish accessories for hearing aids and cochlear implants. So each piece that Hear Glam sells adds sparkle and personality to your hearing devices through lightweight and easy to attach charms, chains, and decorative clips. So they look, on one end, they look like earrings, right? So little heart shapes or diamond shapes. And then the chains go back, and instead of just hooking through an ear piercing or being a clip-on that you clip to your ear, it will clip to your hearing aid or your cochlear implant. Really cool stuff. Elegant metallics, colorful gems, flower motifs. Really interesting stuff from Hear Glam. Kalida Creates does handmade pottery, including bowls, mugs, small plates, and ring dishes, glazed with colors that react to each other to create these really surprising and unusual patterns. So one of the flower pots that they sent me a photo of, the glaze looks like it's a clear or a white glaze on top and a darker blue glaze on the bottom. And then where those two glazes meet, it forms a new line that looks almost like a tree line at the back of a lake. Like if I was looking over a lake at the distance, there'd be a tiny blue tree line on a sunset night, and that's what it looks like when these two different glazes interact with each other. And again, a note specifically directed to our community: please touch any piece to get to know them, feel their weight, their shape, their designs as an invitation from this vendor. That's lovely stuff. I appreciate that very much.
Oh, that is nice, because there is a certain awkwardness when you're blind and you're sort of moving through a market and you're touching people's stuff, and then you kind of have to interact with them because you're touching their stuff, and there's this thing like, oh, I've touched it, now am I obligated to buy it? And it's kind of hard to move past that awkwardness, but I just invite all of us, including myself, to just consider it as window shopping. That's just how we shop, is to check things out by touch. So there's a new level of interaction that sort of does happen when you do that, but that's okay, and you're not obligated to buy. You can just touch as our way of checking stuff.
Exactly. And you know what? The Disability Collective has your back on that one. We're gonna touch back on that in just a minute, Chris. We're gonna come back to that, but it's a really important point. Sasha and Sierra, they make handmade fabric bags, wallets, keychains, and purses. So some have little beaded or bedazzled attachments on the zippers, which make them more accessible, right? When you expand the zipper and so forth, you make it easier to grip and pull. They also do hand-painted Christmas figurines. So some of the stuff they've sent me, images of nice little fabric purses and change purses, things that would fit in the palm of your hand, as well as a tote bag that's got images of dogs in different kind of patterns, all along, like kind of walking along the top of the bag. Lovely stuff from Sasha and Sierra. Lynn Bremner is a watercolor and acrylic artist who does painted cards with envelopes featuring winter scenes. And she also does painted tiles that have been glazed and fired that are suitable for the kitchen or for other decorations. Some lovely, very nice wintry images on these cards and that are, in this set. The lighthouse on a winter day, looks like a cross-country ski trail that goes through the forest. A farm covered, blanketed in white snow. Some really nice kind of holiday cards with envelopes from Lynn Bremner. Solutions Gear does 3D fidget objects, organizational tools, and trading card accessories manufactured by a neurodivergent young adult and parent team. Really interesting stuff. I took a look at some of these images and I'm like, I don't know what these are, but I want to hold them. So there's one that it looks like a, I'm gonna guess 3D printed dragon's egg with reptile scales on them that looks like it's got like a dragon, this really spiky dragon that maybe comes out of it. I don't know. That looks really interesting. There's this little pineapple, a little look, again, I'm guessing 3D printed pineapple in a that looks like it is, you can disassemble it and then flatten it out maybe into this like hexagonal I don't know. These are really intriguing looking items that that you
touch
definitely
that right now.
I know, I want to find them. They've also got a stack of Oreos. What? I don't know what this stack of Oreos is. Again, I just have to check out Solutions Gear and see what it is and get my hands on these things.
I'm intrigued.
Undivided Productions is going to be there. They're going to be selling merchandise from their production house and the Unify Deaf Film Festival. So they're going to have tote bags and t-shirts with the festival logo. They're also going to be doing bath salts and selling Christmas wreaths made of evergreen branches, pine cones, and ribbons. A lot of their table, they're being very intentional about putting things on their table that give off scent. So bath salts, the evergreen wreaths, pine cones, there's lots of scented wares at their table, so they invite you to stop by, inhale, and enjoy. Modern Métis Designs does traditional Métis beadwork mixed with contemporary themes, including earrings, charms, brooches, and keychains. They also do stickers and print art, so their themes include movies, TV shows, video games, 90s and 2000s fandom, so everything from Sailor Moon to Nightmare Before Christmas and Disney heroines. So a really interesting mashup of traditional Métis designs. So one of the pieces they sent is looks like a brooch, a butterfly brooch with traditional looking beadwork, and then natural textures, like looks like there's some fur pieces in there, maybe some plant material in there with beadwork around the outsides, so mostly earthy colors, grays and brown furs, and then with some red beadwork around the outside, so some of that's really traditional. And then some of their stickers, they look like characters from Sailor Moon, but again with a Métis twist, so the Sailor Moon characters but with fur-lined outfits, and really interesting stuff that would be worth a conversation with the vendor, Modern Métis Designs, to get their take on how they're mashing their traditional Métis beadwork and designs with their fandom work. Really cool stuff. Solaire Sprout does handmade jewelry, accessories, and illustrations that are all inspired by nature with a touch of whimsy. So their jewelry is made with like bright and colorful florals that are actually hand-picked from all around Ontario and Nova Scotia, and then dried, topped with resin, and built into the jewelry. So one of the pairs of earrings they took a photo of for me starts with like a disc, a little tiny disc that would really fit like really on your thumbnail, really quite small, and it's got little bits of floral material in there covered in resin, and then framed in, encircled in what looks like maybe silver or pewter, and then dangling down from there are these like double-headed axes. Really cool stuff. And again, another set of earrings that's got crescent shapes, and then dangling down from the crescent shapes little tiny mushrooms. So again, they're actually taking real floral material handpicked from Ontario, Nova Scotia, drying them and including them into their pieces. Really interesting stuff from Solaire Sprout. Joanna Miedzik does handmade resin coasters that are inspired by natural elements. Again, this is a very similar kind of technique, incorporating dried flowers, stones, gold leaf, and dried fruit and seashells, but putting them in resin. But in this case, these resin pieces are quite a bit larger. So there are dishes and plates with daisies in there and big full leaves and things. So you get a full sense of what each flower is, what each piece of plant material is. They've also got it looks like a bowl, a serving bowl, but they're resin hands, like they're shaped like hands, cupped together to make a bowl shape, but inside these clear resin hands are flowers and things. Really interesting stuff. I'm gonna want to check out that table. And then there's the Pink Pooch. The Pink Pooch does disability friendly stationery products such as stickers, sticker sheets, greeting cards, and magnets, all in the theme of dogs and disability. So little tiny cute corgis and, all smiling, little tiny eyes with great big smiles and, tongues hanging out. Bright and colorful kind of line drawings and again, sticker sheets, cards as well from the Pink Pooch. And finally, last but not least, you've got to hit the Disability Collective merch table. The Collective has really great stuff. So they have a collection of disability-themed merchandise, including shirts, sweaters, tote bags, and stickers. So their design messages include things like disabled is not a bad word, nothing about us without us, and disability rights are human rights. So those messages are available on things like t-shirts and in stickers. But for the season, they're also available on things like holiday cards and in ornaments. And they also have a couple of event-exclusive designs. So they've got a tote bag, an event-exclusive navy tote bag that features a line drawing of Wychwood Barns in the snow, which is really nice. I haven't seen that one before. And, of course, there's my very personal favorite. They've got a sweater that reads Merry Christmas. And I got one of these last year. They were very kind. The Collective was very kind and gave me one of these sweatshirts because they saw me I kept coming back to the table and humming and hawing. Oh, I gotta get that by the end of the day. Don't let me forget. It's really cool.
Where's the sweatshirt with you on it? I want a holiday sweatshirt with you on it looking like Santa Claus. Like, why is that not the mascot of the holiday market?
Well, really, I mean, just any image of Santa Claus I could just pretend is me. Oh, yeah, that's me.
You could just say JJ?
Yeah, that's me.
Right, JJ.
Exactly. So there you go. Those are all the different vendors that are going to be inside the market at the festival this year. 30 vendors plus the Disability Collective merch table. So much good stuff to check out. Lots of good stuff to buy.
And it's all disabled artists. And why not support our own community? Why not keep gift buying money or whatever funds we have to spend on stuff like this? Why not keep it within our own community? It's a really beautiful space, and just from having been there last year, the vibe is just so sweet. It's it's inclusive. There's all kinds of people there doing all kinds of things, and the craftspersonship is just so high, and the inclusivity is just baked in joyfully.
Absolutely. And it's free. Like, just come to the market.
Free.
Like, come to, obviously, lots of stuff for sale at the market, lots of good food, but the event itself is free. So, come on down. The holiday festival, again, Sunday, December 7th at Wychwood Barns. So Wychwood Barns is on Christie, 1 block south of St. Clair. It's going to be on from 11 to 5. There's a ton that's going to be going on throughout the day, both inside the barn and on the grounds outside. So indoors at the east end of the main building is going to be there's a small stage area that's going to be set up, and that's where musicians are going to be playing throughout the day. Again, musicians from the disability community are going to be playing, and all the music's going to be instrumental, so that you can enjoy and appreciate the talents of the performers, but still carry on conversations with friends and talk to vendors. That's very intentional. The Frozen sisters, Elsa and Anna, will be roaming the space and performing in English and in ASL. Always a big hit with the kids. And a few of the Disney adults that I know as well.
There are a few, even in the Collective itself.
Perhaps, maybe, even.
Possibly.
The card making station's going to be set up at the southeast end of the space. I love the card making table. So this is where there's lots of different materials you can cut and paste and glue together and make holiday cards. But one of the things I love about the card making table is that the Collective gathers cards that visitors make and donate, and then they send them to folks in the greater community who just need a bit of a pickup during the holidays, which I mean, how lovely is that? Gosh,
that's beautiful.
It's lovely. Lots of really good food available both inside the barns and outside as well. So in the main hall near the east entrance, you're going to find Do Good Donuts and Lil E Coffee. They're going to be set up beside the raffle table. And then outside, you'll find some food trucks so you can tuck into even more food outside. And the Collective's going to be selling hot chocolate, hot apple cider, popcorn, and as you mentioned earlier, Chris, s'mores kits. So they're going to be selling all of that at the tent at the outside the west entrance. I'm really excited about the s'mores kit. So you pick up your kit from the Disability Collective table, and then you head on over to the fire table to melt it all up good. I love s'mores. Are you a s'more maker?
No. I'm not. I love every component of it, but somehow it's just a road I never really...
Do you need someone to make
really
the
went
s'more
to.
for you? You just sit back
That's kind of my speed. I just sit back and hold out my hands. That's where I land in the s'more world.
Yeah, I
but
hear
there's
you.
there's also a rumor of carolers and singers and choir people, so
That's right.
I don't want to spill any details that aren't confirmed yet, but I believe there will be caroling.
I have
Pretty
some
stoked about
confirmation.
that.
Yeah, so while
You do?
while you are out there eating someone else the s'mores that someone else made, you can take in the carolers. The carolers are going to be there from 12 until 1. If you're there at 3, you can join the choir sing-along at 3. But if you're more of a howler than a singer, which is more kind of my speed, then I might be hanging out with the Sunshine Therapy Dogs from 11 to 12, because my singing voice goes better with the therapy dogs than it does with the
It's all
sing-along.
about how it makes you feel, dude. That's what I tell everyone. It's
true.
not about how you sound. It's about how it makes you feel, and it makes you feel good.
That's right. And, something else that makes you feel good is just how covered you are when you come to a Disability Collective event. It is overflowing with support and accessibility offerings. So the day starts with a sensory-friendly hour from 11 to 12, and there's going to be sighted guides available throughout the day. ASL interpreters, as we mentioned, will be accompanying all deaf vendors, and they're also just going to be available throughout the space to assist folks as needed. There's a quiet space that's going to be set up, stocked with fidget toys should you need to take a break at any point, and a personal care attendant from Wimble will be available throughout the festival to support guests who require assistance with activities of daily living. And of course, I'm going to be leading an audio-described tour from 1 to 2 p.m. So this is a tour we've done a couple of times at at Wychwood Barns. So we're going to spice things up with the tour this year. We're going to walk around the space, we'll take in the activities, do a little bit of people watching, but we're also going to be adding a vendor-supported touch table to the tour to help blind, low vision visitors with their shopping. So as you mentioned earlier, Chris, it can be a little bit awkward, right? When you have that moment to go up to the table, the market is bustling, and it's crowded, and you have that moment. I want to touch, I want to feel. We let vendors know that was a bit of a point for blind, low vision shoppers, and we've invited them to add some of their most tactile wares to a touch table so that folks can explore at their leisure, which I'm really excited about. That's new for the tour this year, so that's awesome.
And so that's just a table with no particular vendors there. It's risk-free. You don't have to talk to a vendor. It's just stuff that you can touch at your leisure.
That's right.
With no pressure. And this is why the Disability Collective rocks.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there to help describe what folks are touching as well. So folks can be touching, they can ask me what they look like, and then if it's something that they're interested in, I'll make sure to point out exactly where the table is so they can go and further their conversations with the vendors. So I'm really excited about that.
I would also like to add, in case JJ wasn't going to say this, if you think you've been to the Describe tour before and so you're not going to bother, think again, because this year there's a story. There's a story.
Yes.
We're going to curl up in a corner and JJ's going to tell us a story, but not just a story, a description-rich story. It's a special kind of story where if you're blind or low vision, or if you're just someone who likes to listen to JJ tell stories, which pretty much means everybody, you get a story that has description built into it. And so instead of, shuffling our feet in a chilly outside space where JJ's describing things, we're curled up on a little couch. It's maybe you got a beverage. JJ's going to tell a story and it's going to have description-rich language. So you're going to get all the things, but it's in a story.
That's
and
right.
JJ tells a mean story. Not a mean
I'm
story,
gonna do
a
my
good
best.
story in a great way.
I'm going to do my best. Yeah, to try and weave some of the description of the space, weave some of the history of the space into an original description-rich story that takes place at the Barns. So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you, Chris, for the prompt to take on such a project. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I can't wait for that. It's going to be great. JJ tells a great story, as I know.
So much stuff that's going to be going on, and like we've just listed, we've gone through and done our very best to go through everything, but it's a lot to take in. So if you want to recap on any of this information, you want to get some more details, head on over to the Collective's event page. That's www.thedisabilitycollective.com/holiday festival. And at the bottom of that page, you'll find links to the access guide and the venue guide. All the information is there on the webpage. So, Chris, before we go, I just have one more question for you.
I'm ready.
Do you know what you're getting me for Christmas yet, or are you waiting to check out the festival market first before you commit?
Well, I had in mind a stocking with a bunch of coal at the bottom, but your descriptions of the vendors have given me a lot more creative ideas. So the answer is yes and yes. You'll have to wait and see.
Sounds good. We'll see you soon, Chris.
Bye.